Hey guys, this is Pedro from LFT and I'm coming to you today to show you the trade that I took today live on the LFT trading room and the concepts that I used to enter the trade and also the filters that I used to enter that trade. So let's start. Usually I only trade after the London Open. This is the DAX index, the German index. 2-minute time frame, and we can see here this candle was the candle where the London market opened. We can also see here in the volumes that we have an increase in the volumes. That's when the price gains volatility, and that's what I usually want. It's volatility. Before London Open, the price is just sideways. It doesn't make a lot of things. And we can see that the price made a break to the lower side, and it actually gave a very good entry here. I would have taken this sell trade if I was on the trading room, but I was not here yet, but it gave a beautiful trade. And what happened before after this big drop is that the price went up very violently, and when the price goes violently to some place, it leaves a zone that I call a zone of trouble, and when the price tends to touch that zone in the future, it will have trouble to pass through, or at least it will feel some resistance. And this is exactly what happened here. I'll mark this with a rectangle, and you can see that this zone here, after the violent move to the upside, was actually touched there, it was touched there, it was touched there, it was touched there, and only at the fifth try it actually broke to the lower side. And that's where I actually then entered my short trade, because when I arrived at trading room it was around here, don't know exactly when, but the price was just sideways, it was not going anywhere. I like when the price is trending to the upside or to the lower side, making new highs or new lows, but it was not making anything of that, it was just sideways. So I wanted the price to start a trend, and then I go with that trend, and that only happened here at the break of this zone there. Okay, and I'll show you guys make a zoom on my trade. Just clean this for you to understand better. So this was the drop that broke the support zone, the trouble zone. I'll just remove this, and usually it's enough for me when a trend starts, when a movement to one of the sides starts. I wait for a pullback, and then when I see red eliminating the previous green, that's where I enter my trade. Usually it could have been there when the green of this candle was being eliminated by the red of this candle. I could have shorted there. Another possible entry, it's I wait for this big green candle to be removed, and after this candle that removed this previous green, I would just short there at the break of this red candle. These are two possible entries that I usually take. Today I didn't take any of these trades. I waited a little bit more for a confirmation. Why? Because I always look the way that a pullback forms. When the pullback starts in a violent way, when you see a lot of green erasing the previous red, because the green actually starts here down here, at this bottom. The price came from this bottom and made all this up movement. We can paint this as green. This was a lot of green, and when the pullback is violent, I don't expect the, the, the first pullback to work. The price will have trouble to eliminate all this green at the first try. It can even send the price to the upside. A violent green move like this can send the price to the upside. So I had some caution here, and I was also looking at the zones, and now I'm going to show you here what happened here on the 1 minute time frame. And this is exactly here. So you can see the pullback that started here made a big green movement to the upside, and since this was a lot of strength and left a zone here. You can see this zone. When the price touched the zone, it felt the support. Okay, and I didn't open my sell trade at the close of the 2 minute big red candle. At the broke when that 2 minute red candle was broken, I didn't short there because I was waiting for the reaction in this zone. If this pullback was smooth, well, if it was didn't have so much big green candles, I would not wait to see the reaction on this zone. But since the pullback was so strong, I wanted to see what would happen here, because as the price touches here, it could have been thrown to the upside. And I waited for to see what happened after this touch here. And what happened is that the price went up a little bit, but then it shown that it wanted to go to the lower side, came down again. We see this red eliminating this green. It was not a lot of green here, it was just a small green, and it was immediately deleted by red. And that's where I decided to enter my short trade. I'm going to show you again the 2 minute time frame. Okay, so this was the touch in the 1 minute zone that was here, and then we can see this smaller pullback, and at the break of this candle, that's when I shorted. And another good thing about this confirmation is that if I would have short here, I would have to put my stop loss there. It was it would have been a big stop loss. But since I shorted here and the price made another pullback here, my stop loss was there. So it was kind of almost 50% of the stop loss that I would have if I would have shorted there. So those are two good things about waiting for this confirmation when the pullback is very strong. You can reduce eventually your stop loss, and you have another confirmation that price actually wants to run to the lower side. And that's what happened. I entered my trade there, waited for the price to break. The price made a run, and eventually here it was where I tried to activate my trailing stop. The price didn't move a lot and just came to the upside again. So my trade closed there with 10 points in profit, which is my minimum profit, and that's where I closed. And you can see here that the price started to make new lower lows, but it was not running a lot on each break of the previous low, and at some point it actually changed the trend to the upside. And this also happened because another trouble zone existed at here, and I will show you guys now. I'm going to the 1 hour time frame, and you can see there the trade that I took there was short there and closed there, and the price was actually trying to break a zone that existed here. You can see here the price. Let me just draw the zone first. Okay, you can see here that in the past the price made a violent move to the upside and left a zone there, and the price was actually trying to break this zone on the H1 time frame, on the 1 hour time frame, and that's where it had some trouble, and eventually it went back to the upside. Now let's see on 2 minutes again. On the 2 minutes, oops, sorry guys, again on the 2 minute time frame, so that I shorted, this is where I closed. You can see the price touching the zone once, twice, and here the third time, and that's where it was thrown back to the upside again. So I want to leave you guys with this concept of the zones. There are people that call them supply and demand zones. There are other names for this concept. I call them trouble zones. It doesn't matter the name, it just matters what the price does when it hits them. And I use this concept to filter my trades. Usually I don't short against a zone. Okay, if my pullback was very near the zone, here I had this whole space for the price to run and make my profit before it hit the zone. If my entry was lower, on a lower side, very close to the zone, I would probably not enter my trade, because there was a high chance of the price hitting that zone and getting thrown to the upside, and it would not deliver me the movement that I would need to get my minimum profit. So guys, I hope you enjoyed this filter that I use. I hope that it can help you to make profit trading the markets. And if you want to learn more about these kind of things and the strategy that I use to trade, please subscribe to my YouTube channel, and you'll get a lot of information like this. Thank you, and until the next video.